Hey, good afternoon, everybody. How you all doing? This your boy Rob Thomas Jr., and this is the real news behind the news. Well, I'm doing this as the real news behind the news. But today is Monday, April 12th, 2021, and I just want to ask a brief question. We're gonna talk about it a little bit later on tonight on my YouTube channel. But here we are again, y'all. We have another fatal police shooting up in Minneapolis. And what's crazy about it is they hurry up and release the body cam of video. Because the police chief, when he did a little interview, he was saying that he wants to be transparent, he wants to be open. And the official narrative is that the officer thought that he was using his taser. Now, when you go back and look at that video, they really leave more questions to ask. Because when you look at that video, that officer held his gun in his hand. It looked like he walked up to the car. There was a black officer in the process of trying to detain brother Daunte Wright. And this white officer comes up. Now, when he comes up, this officer already has his weapon in his hand, and it wasn't a taser. For about 3 to 4 seconds, this officer was holding his weapon. You can see it in the video. And again, I'm just giving my analysis on this as what I saw. I could be wrong, because again, everything happens in a matter of seconds. When I got shot in the face, it happened in a matter of seconds. So I do understand what they say, officers have a matter of seconds. But you cannot convince me that this man had about 4 seconds before the time he came up. He tried to intervene, help the officer detain Daunte Wright, and then he held his weapon for about 4 to 5 seconds. You mean to tell me he didn't have enough sense to realize, oh, this is my pistol, as opposed to a taser? I mean, it's hard for me to believe. And if that's the case, should he have even been on a motherfucking police department? I mean, on the street patrol? If you're that slow in your thinking, or if you're that stupid where you pull your pistol instead of your taser, it leads me to ask, what kind of training and who's training these officers? Now, we go back to the case of George Floyd. We know for a fact that tactic that officer used on George Floyd, the knee to the neck, they learned that from the Israelis, the IDF. I keep telling black people here in America, if you do not understand what the Israelis are doing to the Palestinians, you will never understand what's going on in your neighborhood. Because the tactics that they learn it from the IDF, the Israeli Defense Force. What happens is your sheriff departments, your city police department, they send representatives to get training in the latest tactics of suppression from the Israeli Defense Force that the Israelis use to practice. They practice these tactics and create new tactics on the Palestinians. And our police departments throughout America go over there and learn those tactics of suppression. So we're going to talk about it in a little bit more detail tonight on the real news behind the news. But what y'all think? Did it seem like to y'all that officer had enough time to realize that was not a taser in his hand? And wouldn't a gun feel a little bit different than a taser in your hand? I done held both before, and there is a difference. Now, again, I don't know. My whole thing is this. A lot of that could have been avoided, and I hate to say this, but the truth is what it is, y'all. A lot of that could have been avoided if that brother would not have tried to break loose and get in the car. We got to learn how to start de-escalating situations. Sometimes, man, it's better to fight these people in a courtroom than on the side of the road, bruh. Not justifying the shooting at all. But at what point do you play a part in your own death, man? He was being handcuffed. Evidently, he had warrants or something. Something was going. He did not want to go to jail. He resisted and jumped back in the car and wound up being murdered on the side of the road. The time to fight the police, y'all, is not on the side of the road. but in a courtroom. You might not want to go to jail, but at least you will be alive to tell your story. So y'all join us tonight, man, on our Real News Behind the News YouTube channel. We're going to go a little bit more in depth on that. Until y'all see me tonight, man, y'all have a wonderfully blessed and prosperous day.